All right, we're going to move. Hey, this works well since you both have already talked about communication a good bit. That's where we were going next, and Mr. Smallwood gets that question first, so it worked perfectly. The way I've got it in here is transparency, especially in 2025, has really come to the forefront in Trussville. How do you specifically improve transparency from City Hall to residents, both young and old?
That's a great question, and we've been talking among ourselves as I go house to house campaigning with neighborhood associations and all that, and I would ask the individuals, the families, how would you like for us as a city to communicate? You know, invariably I've gotten the response, we want to have more town hall meetings. We want to have town hall meetings that actually engage the residents and give them a voice, allow them to be heard. You know, a lot of times in government we don't want all the expressions of everybody talking because it just, you know, it just contributes to a long meeting. But, you know, quarterly town hall meetings where we come as the city council, as the mayor, and we speak to our people. You know, of course they have the convenience of coming into our city council meetings, but let's make it inviting. Let's have it somewhere exciting. Let's bring people to discussion. Let's engage our people, and let's tell them what we're thinking, what we're proposing, what we want to hear from them. We want to hear their input. I think we can learn a lot from our citizens, especially our senior citizens, because I'll tell you what, you know, anything that impacts them, those are on fixed incomes, they get very, very worried about it, and they get and they begin to talk about it among themselves. I think we could cut a lot of that unnecessary worry out if we just have town hall meetings on a regular basis and bring that back like they did in the old days. Town hall meetings where we discuss, we're engaged in dialogue, where we value the opinions of all of our people. We might not be able to incorporate everything they assert, but we can value that opinion and make them feel heard and make them feel welcome and make them feel that their positions are not, you know, unimportant. I think if we do that, I think we'll go a long ways to build goodwill, kind of like community policing. Community policing gets the police officers back to the community, and it creates a relationship. It creates a union where people feel trusted and where the officers feel trusted. Just on the same page of that. We can do that, I think, as a citizen, as a city, and I think we would be well served by it, and I think the citizens will be well served by that open dialogue.
So because both of y'all have already really talked about newsletters, YouTube, that kind of thing, here's what I'll ask.
I do have something else to add to it though, Gary, so let's see what this part is.
All right, I'll add it to it. So Ms. Bright, you first, as far as open communication. I know you don't like the word transparency. I'll go open communication. How do you ensure that residents here know what's going on in a timely and effective manner and understand the jargon, the processes that go on inside City Hall? Like I said, I think from City Hall can do a better job of explaining things, and I also think people need to take the initiative on their own to educate themselves about their city. Are there initiatives, measures that can be taken to cut off that misinformation or confusion from the beginning?
Well, I think it's helpful if you have multiple ways. Yeah, so we all know you can't reach everybody by just social media. You're going to lose a huge, I know that from my work with my foundation. If I relied just on social media, I would miss a ton of people, and not just old people. There's a lot of young people that do not do social media. So I know that you have to have multiple ways of communicating with your community and in the foundations, with your donors and other bases. So yes, social media is important. The city does very little of that. I think that's an area that we can definitely improve or start. We do very little. So I think that is definitely an area that we've got to touch on. It's tricky. You know, the city has to be careful. There are issues with cybersecurity, and so we have to be careful with our website. I think our website could offer more as well. I was on some city websites today and looking around, just kind of poking around and see what other cities do. And there are areas that we can definitely improve on. But I think you've got to reach them through socials, you got to reach them through emails. Not going to do mail, it's just too expensive unless it's a big project, and more of your town halls. So putting all that together, when we did the ad valorem tax, we hit a good 30 meetings in a short period of time, did a lot of socials, and I can't tell you the amount of people that said, I didn't know it was going for the schools, that it wasn't going to the city. And then I'm thinking, well, how did we lose that communication? Where did we go wrong on that? And a lot of people, they're just busy. Everybody's busy. And it's going to take engagement on both sides. The city is going to have to engage and be more open, but so is the stakeholder. They're going to have, and I think we can maybe do a little bit more through our businesses and trying to get messaging out especially when we have big projects coming up. Sure. Our public buildings, where we have that newsletter sitting out at all of our public buildings for those that don't want to do things like that. We've got to do better because they're not getting the message. Yeah. And so we've got to look at multiple ways of getting that communication across to people.
Okay. Mr. Short?
Yeah, so don't disagree with anything that either one of them said, but I would add, so when funds become available, and I've campaigned on this and talked about this, I would like to see the addition of a public relations director, a true public relations director, to help with the messaging. I think that would be advantageous. If I'm elected, I would serve in that role until funds became available. It wouldn't be the priority, obviously, over public safety or any of the others, but things that we can do immediately that I think would improve communication and transparency is, again, publishing those meetings online on YouTube, but also some changes to the website that outline, this is the council's agenda packet. Here it is for you. You can see it. You get the same packet that the city council does, with the exception of executive session type stuff or legally protected data, right? But Jefferson County Commission does it. They publish it. You can see it well before the meeting. And I think we've got to do a better job, and Councilor Bright can attest to this. We've got to do a better job with our department heads of ensuring that we're getting the data in a more timely manner, so we're not getting our council agenda and packets late in the game, right? Yeah. Because we want to be able to digest the information within it. So setting clear boundaries and deadlines for department heads. And then we publish those online, planning and zoning, council meetings, all of that. You can see the packets, design review as well. You can see the designs. It's all there. It's all public information anyway. We can redact, POI, personal, or PIO, personal identifying information out of it, of course. But simple changes like that, I think, doing a better job of summarizing projects when we look at workshop and council minutes, I think that would be more advantageous as well. So little things like that, I think, will go a long way. Obviously, social media, town halls, all of those are great ideas, but implementing a combination of all of that would be the way to go.
I like all of your ideas there. The more communication, the better.